2011, researchers put heartbroken people inside an MRI machine and showed them photos of the person who rejected them. The brain scans that came back looked almost identical to scans of people experiencing actual physical injury. Heartbreak does not just feel like pain. Inside your skull, it is processed by the exact same system that processes a broken bone. Why does rejection hurt at all? A racing heart, a hollow feeling in your chest. Some people describe a physical ache so specific they can point to where it sits in their body. For most of scientific history, this was dismissed as exaggeration. Then, in 2003, a psychologist named Naomi Eisenberger ran an experiment that changed everything. She put people inside a brain scanner and had them play a simple ball-tossing game with 2 other players in separate rooms, connected by computer. Except the game was rigged. Partway through, the other 2 players quietly stopped passing the ball. They froze the participant out completely. No explanation, no warning, just silence. The region that lit up was the anterior cingulate cortex. It is one of the most well-documented pain centers we have. It activates when you stub your toe, when you burn your hand. Eisenberger's participants were not injured. They were sitting safely in a scanner. The only thing that had happened to them was being excluded from a game, and their brain responded as if they had been hurt. This is now called social pain theory. The theory argues that humans evolved a literal pain response to social rejection because social rejection was a survival threat on the same level as physical injury. Here's what that actually meant for your ancestors. You did not survive alone on the African savanna. You survived as part of a group. If that group decided you no longer belonged, the consequences were not hurt feelings. The consequences were exposure, starvation, or being killed by something that group would have otherwise protected you from. Evolution does not waste resources building systems for things that do not matter. The pain was not a side effect. It was the entire point. Think about the last time you got rejected. Not just romantically. Left out of a group chat. Ghosted after what felt like a good conversation. Do you remember a tightness in your chest? A hollow feeling low in your stomach? You were not being dramatic. You were not exaggerating for effect. Your body was running a 100,000-year-old emergency protocol. So why does heartbreak specifically feel like the worst version of this? Romantic rejection activates the social pain system more intensely than almost any other kind of exclusion. When you form a romantic bond with someone, your brain begins treating that person as a source of safety, almost the way a small child treats a parent. Neuroscientist Helen Fisher's research found that long-term partners trigger activity in brain regions associated with addiction and reward, the same regions activated by substances that create physical dependency. Fisher's team scanned the brains of people who had recently been dumped while showing them photos of their ex. Activity surged in the ventral tegmental area. This is the same region that activates in cocaine addiction. This is why heartbreak does not behave like ordinary sadness, but heartbreak often intensifies before it improves, complete with intrusive thoughts, obsessive checking of someone's social media, and a craving that feels disturbingly similar to substance withdrawal. Fisher's research suggests this is not a coincidence. Your brain spent months or years building neural pathways specifically wired around another person's presence. When that presence disappears, those pathways do not just quietly switch off. They fire desperately, searching for the reward they were built to expect, the same way a smoker's brain fires when a cigarette disappears from their routine. This means when that bond breaks, your brain is not just processing social rejection. It is processing something closer to withdrawal. You have probably been told your whole life that heartbreak is just an emotion. That framing is scientifically wrong. Your brain has no separate, specialized system that exists purely for emotional pain. It uses the same hardware it built for physical injury, layered on top of the same circuitry it uses for addiction and dependency. Which means when someone breaks your heart, you are not imagining the pain, and you are not being weak for feeling it as intensely as you do. You are running 2 of the oldest, most powerful systems your brain has, simultaneously, at full intensity. In 2010, researchers led by Naomi Eisenberger ran a follow-up study testing whether physical painkillers could reduce emotional pain. Participants who took acetaminophen before going through a social rejection task reported significantly less emotional distress than those who took a placebo. A pill designed for headaches and sore muscles measurably reduced the pain of social rejection. If emotional and physical pain were truly separate systems, this should not have worked at all. It is not simply an emotional experience that your mind interprets as painful. It is a physical injury, processed by ancient survival circuitry, layered with an addiction-like withdrawal from a bond your brain had specifically restructured itself around. Your body is not malfunctioning when it aches. It is doing exactly what it evolved to do. You are not too sensitive. You are not broken. You are running the most ancient alarm system you own at full volume for a threat your ancestors would have recognized as completely real. Losing a relationship today rarely means starvation or exposure or death, but your brain has no update installed for that. It is still running code written for a world that no longer exists, applying maximum urgency to a pain that no longer carries the same stakes it once did. That does not make the pain less real. It makes it ancient, and somewhere, right now, someone is sitting with that exact ache in their chest, certain they are uniquely broken, when really they are doing something every single one of their ancestors did before them. Going back further than language, further than fire, it hurt them too. It was always supposed to.